What's up, everybody? Welcome to the MrMaple Show. I'm Corbin. That's Brian. We're here to talk about 10 awesome trees that are coming to you at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time today. If you live on the West Coast, you know, do some math right there. It's going to be coming at 7 a.m. 10 drops, and get ready because we got some awesome trees. Brian, you ready to talk about some of these, man?
I'm ready to talk about some trees, guys. Appreciate everybody being here. We love doing these 10 at 10s. We do these twice a week, every Tuesday, every Thursday. We do 20 new trees that hits the website on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. So definitely one of those things where you got to be ready that day, especially when we're bringing the heat. We got some great plants for you guys today. Some killer sizes on a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about today. So I like the fact that when we're offering some bigger size stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes bigger is better, man. And whenever it comes to Japanese maples, most of the time that is the case, man. I mean, bigger tree usually means an older tree. We got some cool stuff today, but we're gonna start with a little bit of that. Get your palette ready because we got an awesome plant. We got Ginkgo biloba, Spring Grove.
Ooh, man, I love Ginkgo biloba trees. They're such an amazing, kind of just a magical tree to me. You know, it's a prehistoric tree. It's been around forever. Very, very forgiving plant too. You can grow these just about anywhere. They're drought tolerant, heat tolerant. Really, really consistent tree as well. I love the fact that you have a dwarf version of a Ginkgo biloba here with Spring Grove. You know, you see those gigantic ginkgo trees, and a lot of us don't have room for a lot of those bigger size stuff. So with Spring Grove, we have a witch's broom form of a Ginkgo biloba.
Yeah, I think that kind of is something that I like about the dwarf varieties. Is if you ever seen ginkgos planted around your city, usually they are planted everywhere around just because like these are the punching bags of the garden. Yeah. I mean, they can handle that hot Atlanta asphalt. They can handle, you know, that New Jersey cold temperature. These are places I've seen them in Pittsburgh, you know. Right. It's like, this is a plant that's just such a, you know, multi-use plant. It's going to give you some beautiful colors during the fall time. But something that, you know, some of those full-size ginkgos have, they get kind of lanky. They get really spread out a little bit. And in larger areas, usually you're having to prune them back a lot. And pruning back helps a lot to kind of flush more branches. But for these dwarf varieties, they're very tight, dense trees. They have a lot of multi-branching in the structure, and they give you a fuller look, which means more yellow leaves during the fall time.
Yeah, I think it does. The leaf is accentuated when you have that kind of squished, more dense habit. The leaves kind of look bigger, bulkier on this. They also kind of cup upward. One of the things unique about Spring Grove is you get kind of these little rounded cups the way the leaf, and the lobes almost go in a full circle, I've noticed on some of those, giving you this like really cool circular look on those lobes. And I mean, the texture of ginkgo is just unlike anything else in your garden. I mean, you could have, you know, 25 Japanese maples all in different colors, but you're still looking at, you know, a very similar leaf, right? Whereas ginkgo it's in a league of its own. I mean, there's nothing else out there like that. And so when you bring that element into your garden, it really stands out.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I enjoy about ginkgos during the springtime too. I think that during the fall time, we get really hyper fixated on the fall colors. Right. But during ginkgos, one of my favorite times is kind of that first like spring push. I mean, we all love watching maple leaves kind of unfurl themselves. But man, ginkgos are kind of like tube form. Sometimes like the leaf just starts to emerge and push out. Like, it just looks so beautiful during the springtime when you see that first little burst of growth, especially because during the wintertime when you look, all that little leaf is just, like, I mean, multiple leaves are sitting inside this little tiny dome-shaped bud on the ginkgo, and to watch all that kind of push out is just awesome. You won't be disappointed with Spring Grove, guys. This is a dope plant.
Pick up one today. All right, we have an Acer Palmatum seedling from Makawa Yatsubusa. And not just any old random Makawa Yatsubusa. No. These are from the lineage of Buckholtz Nursery, from the huge Makawa Yatsubusa that they have out at that farm out in Oregon. So just the thought of that to me is really exciting. And I think that's what makes that connection to all of these different trees that we put in our gardens. It's the story behind it, like the origin, things like that. You know, me and Matt had a conversation the other day about what makes a cultivar collectible. And I think a lot of those attributes of, you know, the history, the origin, things like that, really play a big part into how special a tree becomes.
Yeah, I mean, this is just so awesome too. It's like you get to experience the genetic diversity of Japanese maples, you know, and just see, put this right next to Makawa. Like, you're gonna notice the differences.
Yeah.
I mean, mine has a curled leaf, and they have different spring colors. They really show off. No one is the same, and I think that's what's awesome. You know, you can buy one of these and then tell all your maple friends, you ain't got this one, bro.
You ain't got this one. But yeah, that's what's cool about being seedlings. So just to be clear, these are not grafted. They are grown from seed, so they're growing on their own roots. So there's going to be a lot of variability between each one of these. You're going to get slightly different spring colors and things like that, fall colors that we talked about. But you can be reassured that they are going to have a very reminiscent of a Makawa Yatsubusa growth habit. So these are going to be that tightly layered habit that you come to expect. Really nice bold green colors in the summertime. But these are all kind of been selected for spring interest and things like that.
Yeah, I just love like looking over, like we have a bunch of these at the nursery, and just looking at them and going and picking out some of my favorites, maybe set them to the side. And then just like, you can go and do that every single time. Like, you could go through and look and see ones that are doing something a little bit different than all the other ones at that time of the season. And I think that, like, at the core of it, that's what we love about collecting maples. It's like, well, no one maple is the same.
Right.
Some of them can look very similar but do completely different things habit-wise. And just to have something like this is super cool.
Get you a Makawa Yatsubusa seedling today.
All right, guys, imagine you're sitting at your fireplace. You know, you're drinking a fermented beverage, you know, with a fruity scent to it. You're reading your giant book of maples, stroking your beard, and you say, man, I wish I had a maple that could, you know, fit this exact moment. Guys, look no further than Acer Palmatum Plum Wine.
Yeah, the rumor is that Talon was sitting back enjoying a little like Japanese wine. They call it plum wine, and thought it was a very aptly fitting name for this particular cultivar. And I can tell you why. It's got a really nice dark purple color in the spring. Really, really interesting, because we're really heavily into that Shirasawanum world, and you rarely see those colors with Acer Shirasawanum.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this one has some very nice purples that are going on during that spring flush. The leaf is, you know, shaped like a normal kind of leaf. I know a lot of the pushback on some of the other reds or purple Shirasawanums is they look a lot more palmate influenced, but these guys, they have that fat full moon leaf that we all love from this variety of plant. And I mean, this is a cool one. It's definitely cool whenever you're at Buckholtz and you're seeing all these other Shirasawanums, stuff like Yellow Canary paired with this, you know. I mean, this looks good next to, I mean, anything that's going to give you some contrast with those purples. I mean, put it with anything yellow, put it with some greens as well. It's going to pop and look really nice. And yeah, that fat full moon leaf really adds a lot of space for that color. That fall color looks really nice on this tree as well. And this is just going to put on a show. Going to be one for that collector of Shirasawanums.
So make sure you pick you up a plum wine today. All right, guys, we got another exciting plant lined up for you here. We got a Japonicum. We got Acer Japonicum Green Cascade.
Oh man, this is awesome. I love Japonicums, but those lace leaf Japonicums, they have a special place in my heart. I think, you know, we talk about fall colors on Japonicums, and the fall color on the lace leaves, they really show themselves. I mean, if you want something that's dramatic, put one of these in the garden.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so cool to take that large Japonicum leaf that we all are so familiar with and just turn it into such an ornate, dissected version of that. It's really wild. The texture is awesome on these. We have some nice 2-gallon sizes on them. Now these are low graft, but they have been staked to give you some height. And what I really like about staking some of these weeping cascading forms is you get some nice trunk movement, because that trunk's wanting to bend and wanting to turn. So each time you stake it, you'll have a little bit of trunk movement to it. I think that makes it even more exciting just to get some height. And once this thing begins to fill out up top, you're really going to appreciate that trunk on it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, movement is such an important part about the garden. You know, it's like anybody could have a tree that's staked straight up and down.
Right.
Anybody could have that tree that, you know, the kindergartners draw, man. But it's like only one person can have that tree that's been formed in their garden. You know, it had a good base from a nursery, and then they built on it, you know, through the winter, through the wear and tear of the seasons. You develop a beauty to it, man. And I think the Japanese, they call it the wabi-sabi. You know, it's like perfection of imperfection, or enjoying like the beauty of nature through its imperfection. And I mean, that's one of my favorite things about you know, maples. I think we'll talk about that a little bit more with some of the other cultivars we got going on back there. But this is just such an awesome plant to have a Japonicum that's a lace leaf, to have you know, that classic Japonicum fall color. And this is one of the faster growing lace leaf varieties of Japonicums. You know, it's going to give you some nice size out there in the garden. 6 foot in height, 6 foot in width. It's going to get out there in the garden. It's going to give you some nice, you know, size going on there.
Yeah, I really love the texture that the lace leaf Japonicums bring. And I think, you know, whenever you, especially when you get into lace leaves, you know, there are a lot of green lace leaves out there. So let's say you had like Viridis or Green Hornet or something like that, but you needed another green lace leaf. Maybe you might try a green Cascade, which provides you a little bit bigger leaf, a little bit more substance to that texture overall. And even with the 2 green lace leaves side by side, you're going to notice a big difference, with one being a palmatum, one being a Japonicum.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can tell. It's like, this looks like more elongated, more divided Maikujaku leaf. That's kind of how you know that it's a Japonicum on a lace leaf variety. These are dope. Don't miss out. Great sizes. Guys, Emits Pumpkin. You ever heard of it? Acer Japonicum, Emits Pumpkin.
Woo! I mean, can't go wrong with the Japonicums, man. I think it's cool that we're doing a couple of Japonicums back to back. We just had the lace leaf version. Now we got that big Japonicum leaf. I love Emits Pumpkin, man. I think, in my opinion, like, it's probably one of the most vigorous of the upright Japonicums as well. So it gets out there really quick. We have one planted in our garden back home, and it's in full sun, taking it like a champ, and really putting on a lot of summer new growth right now. We have some branches that are reaching around probably 10 to 12 inches on each of those branches of new growth shoots. So really exciting maple for pretty much any time of the year. Because you think about right now, you're putting on that new growth over top of that older growth. Really nice little blushing of color. Yeah,
I mean, Emits Pumpkin's named that way because Emmit's grandma named it after him. Because, you know, I love how, like we were talking about with those stories, man. This lady, she was selling this tree at the flea market. She wanted to pay for her grandson's college, named the tree after him. And now we got it here at the nursery. It's in production. So, I mean, that just means that it wasn't just some old tree. If you know, we're selling it, people were wanting this one. It's so dope. Like you said, those blushing colors really give you like a hint of that fall color throughout the year. I mean, there's something that we love about maples. It's going to be the spring color. It's going to be the fall color. And to get that, like the little hints and little teases of that throughout the year is just so cool. Yeah, Emits Pumpkin flushing out that orange, bright orange color during the springtime. And yeah, like you said, this thing is super vigorous, man. I mean, one of the faster growing trees that we sell. And it's just so beautiful, man. This is one you're going to want to add to your collection. Maybe add it to the garden, you know, who knows, man. Put the pumpkin in the garden. It's going to shade out some other stuff. It's going to look beautiful.
Well, yeah, what's really great about a lot of these upright Japonicums is they have such a beautiful, rigid structure to them, too. I love an upright Japonicum, just the way it carries itself in the garden especially. And I think what's cool is you can this can provide some shade over time. And so, especially with those larger leaves, can really shade an area. So if you have a spot in the garden where you need some shade and you want to plant some understory stuff, Emits Pumpkin would be a great choice for that. Just a way you kind of just layer and put different levels into your garden. You can do some nice shade plants underneath, and then your eye carries up into the Emits Pumpkin above. Great fall color, oranges in the fall. This thing just really is a rock star, man. I think it's probably one of the best Japonicums out there.
If Brian's saying that, that's pretty high praise, man. Let's check it out today.
All right, y'all. We got another great 2-gallon size for you here. We got Acer Palmatum, Germaines, gyration.
Wow.
Wow.
Wowee, man. This tree makes you think of like something like Footloose, you know, one of those old school movies. But, you know, it makes you want to move, man. That's like, we talk about maples that, you know, remind us of band names. We talk about maples, you know, they might remind us of other things in our life. This one just kind of makes me want to, you know, move my hips a little bit, man. Do the twist or something like that. Because Germaines gyration, one of the most hooking habits out of any lace leaf Japanese maple there is. I mean,
look at this thing, guys. We got these 2 gallons staked. I've got like a handle right here. The trunk movement on this thing is absolutely wild. I love getting those crazy shapes on the trunks. We talked about that earlier. I think it really plays into the whole dynamic effect of the tree in your landscape. Just having some movement in that trunk. And Germaines gyration does that all over the place. I mean, all of these branches are going to continue to hook and curve and hang. Amazing structure overall. There's a huge one here at the gardens where we're at, and I like to think about that when I'm just trying to get inspired about my garden. And you know, sometimes we look at these 2 gallons, maybe 1 gallon size, and it's hard to see the picture of what they can really do in the landscape. But Germaines gyration, it don't waste any time, man. I mean, this is one of the fastest growing lace leaves out there, and this thing really puts on a show early on. As you can see here in a 2 gallon size, I mean, this thing looks crazy. Already a beautiful shape for your landscape, and we're just getting started with this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I love the hooking pattern on this. Like, if you wanted to get into cool pruning style, I think like this one really lends itself to that.
Yeah.
If you're just beginning, it's gonna be a wild ride at first, but I mean, let this thing kind of steer itself in the right direction, giving it kind of minimal pruning. I've seen this one hook almost like an S shape before. Just because like that's what it does, man. And we talk about coral barks having winter interest. Whenever you know you're sipping that maple wine, you know that box wine ain't doing it for you, man. So you got to kind of get a little into it a little bit more. Right. And whenever you do that, you start to enjoy the structure of trees. It's not just about the flash of the leaves. It's not just about like the rarity or the variegation, or you know. It's about that tree itself sometimes, man. And this is a tree I think that embodies that feeling in the garden.
Absolutely. And I think you kind of hit on something earlier. I think this is a great like beginner tree. Like if you were just like really wanting to just first get into maples, because it's so easy to grow, so vigorous. I mean, you're going to feel like you really know what you're doing right off the bat. You're like, man, I just put that in the ground and that thing took off and it's going crazy. It doesn't take a lot of you know, just being a maple expert to grow this. I think it's so great for that, and I think a lot of people can really come to appreciate what a lace leaf weeping Japanese maple is all about, because you get it in such a grand size. You know, a lot of the other like Crimson Queen, they're more dwarf, a little harder to see the innards of it. You know, such a compact habit to it, whereas Germaines gets a little open, a little more space here. You can kind of see that form inside. Enjoy all that beautiful structure to it.
Yeah, something, you know, maybe I might recommend too is maybe removing some of these lower branches and really pushing out that flush up top. Yeah. Because, I mean, this is a tree you're going to be able to stand underneath in a couple of years. And like, I mean, that's pretty awesome to think about a weeping variety. You stake this up a little bit further, you know, to your height, your kid's height, and then cut those lower branches, start working on those and kind of flushing like a big canopy over top of the tree.
I'm just thinking in my mind, like, you know, back in the day we used to build forts, you know, like out of boxes and blankets and all that. you could like build a fort inside your Germaines gyration. How sweet would that be, right?
I mean, yeah, tell the kids, go play somewhere else. You know, mom and dad are going to chill out underneath the tree fort for a little bit. I mean, can't beat that.
Can't beat that. Let's raise a glass to Germaines gyration here today.
Exactly, man.
More 2 gallons?
Yeah.
I mean, we're bringing some size in today. We got another crazy cultivar here. This is what you don't see come around too often, so we're really excited to be able to offer this, especially in a 2 gallon, nice tall staked size right here. We got Acer Palmatum Coralinum.
Yeah, I mean, you might have heard that word before, Coralinum. This is like kind of the namesake of what we would describe a lot of those spring flush maples as. Things like DeShojo, things like Phoenix, things like Shinsojo, you know, stuff that's going to be pushing out just like hyper color during the springtime, moving more into a green and then giving you really nice fall colors as well. Coralinum, coral in the name, so it kind of gives you a little bit of that coral pink. Sometimes some like little baby pinks going on in there, and then malting to a beautiful green color.
Yeah, I love the Coralinum types, and here we have a perfect example of what these can do. I mean, this gives you like a whole next level spectrum of the pink colors. Like you said, man, it can be these really bright hot pinks. Sometimes you get these soft baby pinks kind of sprinkled throughout. Really, really cool tree. I mean, this is going to be a little bit smaller of a tree, really rounded habit. So it really fits in a lot of great spaces in your garden. I mean, these are really popular for bonsai because that spring interest is just so vibrant that it almost looks like a flowering shrub.
Yeah, tiny leaf, spring interest, nice classic style after it kind of pushes through that spring push. And you get just an elegant tree going on in the landscape. Yeah, I mean, these are just such a cool thing to dive into because you really start to see like a lot of different pairings with other things. I mean, put this next to a Katsura, put this next to an Orange Dream. Those pinks and yellows are going to play together. Right. They're going to get along pretty well.
Absolutely.
And as you kind of move into summer, they're going to give you kind of that lively feel. That's similar to certain trees that might be put into a Japanese garden or something, where you kind of get this beautiful flush, but then you kind of go to a more subdued, lively feeling where, you know, the whole of the garden is more important than maybe one plant itself.
Right, yeah. And I think sometimes we get into that conversation about how, you know, we forget sometimes that Japanese maples are flowering trees. But the colors on this, especially when you get to that summer month where you're kind of getting more of just those like olive green colors throughout, once you get the summer new growth popping over that, it looks like beautiful pink flower blooms all over the shrub. So it plays into your idea of like how you can use Japanese maple in your landscape. This is going to be kind of more of a shrub type tree for your garden and landscape area. And then, like I said, it's almost going to look like a flowering shrub with that summer new growth over top.
Yeah, I mean, that really does, just like that pink and that red cuts through that beautiful green that we get on these trees, and it just pops. It says, give me some attention. You know, I like just how beautiful it looks. Looks like little tiny little flowers like you're talking about as those buds kind of emerge. Super dope tree, Coralinum. Don't miss out on it. Guys, look at this dwarf. I mean, that's pretty awesome. We got an Acer Palmatum, a Sharps Pygmy.
Woo! 10-gallon sizes here of Acer Palmatum Sharps Pygmy, you guys. The structure on this thing is absolutely wild. I love Sharps Pygmy. It's got a really nice, smaller leaf to it and very pointed lobes. There's a fine serrated edge on that leaf as well. And those really sharp pointed lobes just give it a unique texture. They almost kind of curl downward too, just a little bit. They just kind of curl just slightly. Really nice texture on this. I used to have one of these back in Oklahoma. It could handle the sun. It was a full sun plant for me in Oklahoma. Really dense and compact shape.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love a dwarf that looks like this? I mean, a nice ball shape. It's going to give you some great fall colors. It's going to be something that you can put in a lot of different areas in the garden. Maybe you do a mass planting of these, you know, pick up a couple of them today.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, this is just going to look so great with maybe something like a Twombly's. You know, have this, play with those shapes a little bit, where you get a nice sized Twombly's Red Sentinel, add it to the Sharps Pygmy. Put it with Makawa X Sharps if you got one of those.
Absolutely.
Compare the difference and the similarities. But yeah, that sharp small leaf really does just add such a nice texture on the plant. It really makes it feel, you know, just full too.
Yeah.
Because everywhere you have like a small leaf, you know, it kind of makes nice shadows and gives this tree a lot of depth as well. Looking through that structure is really nice because it's, I mean, it's just such a tight, dense structure. This thing is going to be a beauty in the garden.
Yeah, as you can tell here in the 10-gallon size, I mean, these are still pretty small considering when you think about a Japanese maple just as a species. So really nice dwarf, great for container gardening, great for bonsai. What I love about just looking at this one here, and I've noticed this with Sharps Pygmy in general, is you get this really like old tree shaped form in that dense, compact habit to it. So, I mean, it looks like a 200-year-old tree, but you're and only in a couple of feet tall. So I love that about it. It gives a very nice tree form to it. And then you put that fall color on top of that, which is some nice oranges and reds. This thing really lights up in the fall.
Yeah, I mean, make sure, these are probably going to go pretty quick. These ones look really awesome. Make sure to check it out, Sharps Pygmy.
10-gallon size. All right, guys, we got another huge monster size for you here. We got 10-gallon Acer Palmatum Mano Nosado.
Man, oh man, Mano Nosado, man. That is an awesome tree. The village of 1,000 leaves, guys. Name that because, I mean, if you're looking at those pictures by that guy, whoever, you know, maybe it's a guy named Brian Rule, maybe it's a guy named Joe. So they're taking some awesome pictures of this. And this is super dope. I mean, name that because every single leaf looks different.
Yeah.
The color, the variegation, the shape of the leaf. Amazing tree.
Yeah, so what we have here is we have kind of a green variegation on a red or purple leaf. So it's definitely a unique style of variegation. There's only a few of them out there that kind of really play into this realm of color spectrum. And each leaf is kind of deformed in such a way that it just really makes it look unique. I mean, I'm sitting here just looking through all of these different leaves. Some of them have kind of a linear lobum style, like the middle lobe is stretched and skinny, and like it really does play into the texture of this plant. And you can really see it nice when you get something in a bigger size like this 10-gallon here, of just how much variance you have between each and every leaf.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking up through it and I'm seeing the light kind of peer through. And it's almost like a green flame going on. I mean, like with the asymmetric shape of the leaves, that light variegation over top of that dark leaf almost gives you like, I mean, it looks transparent almost.
Yeah.
And that backdrop of the sky, as you're looking up through it, I mean, it really kind of has a nice silhouette, honestly. And it might sound a little crazy, but man, I'm a maple head, bro. So, you know, it's like we like those little things about trees.
I think a lot of subtle details is what really makes a lot of these cultivars stand out. Now, this is one of the few that I think, in just my opinion, it really plays into the purple color spectrum like a lot more than some of the others. Sometimes when you say purple in the world of Japanese maples, there's a lot of reds and maroon tones and things like that. This one really gets into those dark kind of purple
like
colors.
A royal purple.
Yeah, it's really crazy that you can get that color of purple, and then you get the green variegation playing off of that purple throughout the leaf. The color contrast is really nice. And then the fall colors, because you have those two tones with the variegation, your fall color is two tones as well. So you get these crazy yellows and oranges and reds all mixed together. Just making this thing look like a flame. I mean, like you said, it does have that flame look to it, especially in that fall color.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. This is one you're not going to want to miss out. Giant sizes, great sizes on this for real. Make sure to check out quick if you're picking this one up. Now on to the last one. All right, guys. Last but not least, we got Acer Palmatum Orange Dream. Woo!
Man, I don't know about you, but sometimes I sit around and I dream about spring. It's my favorite time of the year, especially when it comes to Japanese maples. And Orange Dream is just that, man. It's this amazing, crazy spring interest Japanese maples. One of the first ones to leaf out in spring, so it always gets me excited. When I see the buds start to swell on Orange Dream, I'm like, all right, guys, get ready. Here we go. We're about to have a crazy spring show here in the garden. Yeah,
I mean, definitely. It's like we talked about those Coralinums, but I was talking about Orange Dream, you know, mostly because we have it here, but right. I mean, it's going to be a perfect pairing for that maple.
Absolutely.
With those oranges and those pinks. Putting those two colors together really helps you pull out more depth out of each color, because you know, you start to realize there's oranges in those pinks sometimes.
Right.
There's pinks in those oranges, and putting these together is so awesome. But then you're going to start to get this bleaching that's going to go on in the tops of your Orange Dream, almost turning like a white color. This is going to be, it's going to be so awesome. I mean, that's one of the first things Brian showed me with these variety of maples, is that they sun bleach. And you know, that's not going to be detrimental to the health of the tree. There's a difference between bleaching and burning.
Right, yeah.
So remember that. But after this one gets established, I mean, the top leaves have such a more distinct color than some of those leaves inside the structure. And that, I mean, white pairs with everything, man, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what's exciting about a lot of these spring interest Japanese maples, is you can play around with them quite a bit on your sun exposure. And I think it really leads into just how dynamic of a color that you're going to get out of it for that year. And I think with Orange Dream, as you can see, these are pretty greened out. We do have these in shade cloths in our shade houses here at the farm. So you're going to get a lot of green tones right now. Now we do have some new growth popping on this. Really nice chartreuse green new growth popping on this. Sometimes we can have some nice little pink blushes over that too. But this thing really gets its name and everything from that amazing spring color that it comes out with. And then, like Corbin said, if you push that sun exposure just a little bit, you can really accentuate into those kind of brighter yellows, almost white tones that really makes this tree stand out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of awesome cultivars have come from this variety as well. So it's a cool one to pull seed off of. It plays nice with everything else in the garden, whether that's, you know, making seeds or playing with that contrast of those beautiful plants in the garden. And that's what we're looking for. You know, sometimes you have that specific plant that you know exactly what you want to pair with, and sometimes you just need like this anchor point of color in the garden that everything plays with at different times. And I think Orange Dream is an awesome one to do that with.
Yeah, it's definitely been one of my favorite over the years, but I'll tell you what really solidified this was I did a cultivar highlight out at Buckholtz Nursery when I visited there for the first time, and they had a huge specimen of Orange Dream there. And the time of the year I was out there, it was just electric in color. I mean, it was one of the brightest maples on the entire farm there at the nursery. And there's a lot of trees there. And I was really kind of having a hard time picking a few of my top 5, you know. But I just kept looking at that Orange Dream like, man, a beautiful specimen. And it was pushed out into that sun exposure a little bit too. So it had this super radiant yellow color to it, with almost this bleached out tones on some of those upper branches like Corbin was talking about. So when you see these out in the landscape, especially in a good size, and we've got some beautiful 3-gallon sizes here today, great structure, well branched. I mean, you put this in your garden. Now right now you may be looking at this and just seeing this green, but you're gonna get into some really nice fall colors on this too, some bright reds. And then again, you'll be sitting around dreaming for spring after fall comes and those leaves drop. And if you've never seen this cultivar leaf out in person in spring, you're going to be blown away, guys. This thing is absolutely amazing. It gets me excited every time I think about this cultivar, because it was always the first one leafed out in my garden in spring.
I mean, like I said, it takes a lot for Brian to say something like that. It takes a lot for that to be a plant in Talon Buckholtz's garden.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a classic. It is a foundational piece for the collector garden. Don't miss out on these awesome sizes. Guys, that is 10 of the 20.
Of the 20.
So guys, there's 10 more. Check your email if you're signed up for that. Go to our website to sign up for that email if you'd like. And check out our Facebook, guys. I mean, lots of other like-minded folks there, chatting maples, sharing photos, discussing maple, you know, science and that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
It's a great place. If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to comment your favorite tree. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Like that video, guys, because we put in a lot of work. And remember to support us the most. Check out MrMaple.com so we can keep giving you these awesome videos every single day.
Man, you know what else gets me excited too? Mr. Maple open houses. We got one coming up here on Labor Day. You guys need to come out and hang out with us that day. We're going to be open from 8 to 4 on that Monday of Labor Day. And we're going to have all of our greenhouses open for you guys to come and shop. It's an amazing experience. You get to come and kind of just witness the vast array of Japanese maples and lots of other plants. We have a huge selection of conifers right now, azaleas, flowering trees and shrubs that will be available at our open house. So make sure you guys come out and experience that. Come hang out with me and Corbin. You know, we'll talk about plants. We might even get you to shoot a video with us. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Come hit us up about that if you want to share your favorite Japanese maples. We always enjoy doing that.
Yeah, guys, remember, take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.